When you start managing applications in Microsoft Entra ID, you're stepping into a powerful system that centralizes how users access both your internal tools and third-party SaaS apps. Think of Entra ID as the gatekeeper. Every app goes through it to ensure that only the right people get access, and that access follows your organization's policies. This makes application management not just a convenience, but a critical layer in your security and identity strategy. In Microsoft Entra ID, application management refers to the process of registering, securing, provisioning, and controlling access to applications, both internal and third-party. You use Entra ID as the central identity provider to authenticate users to SaaS apps like Salesforce, ServiceNow, or Workday, secure access to custom-developed apps, manage lifecycle policies and user provisioning, apply granular access and risk policies. It's the beating heart of identity-driven access to modern apps. In Entra ID, you'll primarily deal with two components: enterprise applications and app registrations. Understanding the difference between these is key. When you integrate apps from the Microsoft App Gallery or bring in your custom apps for user access and provisioning, you're working with enterprise applications. These are the apps you assign to users, configure for single sign-on, SSO, and monitor for access. On the other hand, when you or your development team are building applications and need to authenticate users or call APIs using tokens, you'll use app registrations. This is where you register the app, define authentication flows, and assign API permissions. Simply put, enterprise apps are about consumption and control, while app registrations are about creation and integration. As you configure these applications, you'll be making key decisions about how users get in. You'll assign users or groups to each app, either manually or through dynamic rules. You'll also enforce conditional access policies. These are the guardrails that allow or deny access based on real-time conditions like user risk, location, device compliance, and MFA status. You can use SSO options like SAML, OAuth 2, or OpenID Connect to give users a seamless sign-in experience across multiple apps. It's all about reducing friction for the user while increasing control for you. When provisioning becomes part of your workflow, Entra ID helps you automate the creation, update, and removal of accounts in connected apps like Salesforce, Workday, or ServiceNow. You'll use SIM-based provisioning to push changes from Entra ID directly to those apps. This way, when someone joins your organization or changes roles, the appropriate access is granted or removed automatically. It's a huge win for both security and operational efficiency. If you're developing your own apps, the journey begins with an app registration. You'll configure client secrets or certificates, define redirect URIs, and choose an authentication flow that suits your use case. Maybe authorization code for interactive web apps or client credentials for daemon services. You'll also define what resources the app can access by setting permissions to Microsoft Graph or other APIs. Using libraries like MSAL makes it easier to securely acquire tokens and implement authentication without starting from scratch. From the user's perspective, managing access is easy. Once you assign apps, users can find them in the My Apps portal, a single location where they can launch all their business tools. If you enable access packages or entitlement workflows, users can even request access to new apps, subject to approval flows you define. As an administrator, you'll use the Microsoft Entra Admin Center to configure apps, review sign-in activity, apply conditional access, and track provisioning status. Monitoring is an essential part of your role. You'll want to stay on top of who's accessing what, when, and from where. Entra provides sign-in logs for user activity, audit logs for configuration changes, and provisioning logs to show the lifecycle of user objects across connected applications. These insights help you troubleshoot, spot anomalies, and demonstrate compliance. To truly master application management, you need to follow a few best practices. Always apply least privilege. Assign users only the roles they need. Require MFA for all applications, especially those that involve sensitive data. Use conditional access to enforce access from compliant devices or trusted locations. Enable automated provisioning wherever possible to reduce manual work. And don't forget to conduct access reviews regularly to clean up unused or outdated access rights. By managing applications through Microsoft Entra ID, you're not just making things easier for your users, you're taking control of your identity perimeter. Whether it's an internal HR portal or a globally used SaaS app, you'll be the one who defines how access is granted, secured, and revoked.